Hello, Charles here, and this is Chapter 7 of Learning to Fly. Chapter 6, somebody tried to blow Walter up. Didn't succeed, so we know he is pretty impervious to explosions. And what happens next? Well, he gets a little more action in Chapter 7 coming up. Chapter 7. Walter left the police station and was about to head home, then decided he needed to clear his head. So instead of flying home, he went up to about 500 feet and flew north along I-75. He wasn't really looking for anything, but watching the traffic flow beneath him. He was near Middletown when he spotted an aggressive driver below, passing 18-wheelers on the right side, weaving in and out of traffic, and being a general nuisance. Walter hated aggressive drivers. He watched the car as it cut off another truck and waited for the car to get into the clear. What the hell, he said, swooping down behind the aggressive driver. He was flying just above the road surface, and the driver never saw him. He reached under the car and lifted it up into the air, turning around and heading south. What the f***? Hey, watch your mouth, Walter said, popping his head up by the driver's window. I have sensitive ears. The driver continued to scream a creative mix of profanity, including some disparaging remarks about Walter's mother, but he ignored every bit of it. He followed the highway south for a bit, across the Ohio River, and finally decided Walton, Kentucky was a good place to set the angry driver down. Here you go, buddy, Walter said before setting the car down in the northbound lane. Try not to drive like a jerk from now on unless you want to find yourself coming back from Alabama. As Walter was flying away, he heard another string of invective coming from the car. Several words rhyming with truck, and more comments about the marital state of his parents. He flew back up to 500 feet and headed toward home, smiling as he went. Getting home took longer than he expected. He retrieved 2 cats from trees, stopped a convenience store robbery, and deposited the would-be robber next to a police cruiser, and returned a confused elderly man to the nursing home he had wandered away from. He was almost home when his phone buzzed. He pushed a button on his headset and answered. Hey Gramps, where are you? Franklin asked. Shouldn't you be studying? Yeah, I got a window open with news on. Got a high-speed chase up near Mason, carjacking. Thought you'd like to know. On the highway? Yeah, a helicopter following it. Close to Kings Island now. Okay, kid, on the way. I'm coming home after that if nothing else happens. It's been a busy day. Walter sped up and was next to the helicopter in less than a minute. The pilot looked out the window, saw Walter flying next to him, and gave a friendly wave. Walter pointed to the car speeding below with the police car in pursuit, and the helicopter pilot gave a nod. A couple seconds later, the police car backed off a bit, and Walter did what he had done earlier, flying down behind the car and lifting it into the air. He dialed 911 with his other hand. 911, what's your emergency? Hey, this is Walter. The Walter? The one and only. Got a delivery for you. Just need to know where to drop it off. What kind of delivery? Wait, you're showing in Mason. Yeah, got this guy trying to run away. Can't carry this car around forever. Oh, the chase? That started in Norwood? You know where the police station is there? Yeah, be right there. We'll let them know I'm coming, okay? There were police officers waiting in the parking lot when Walter set the car down and the driver was arrested and booked. Whose car is this? Walter asked one of the cops. He stole it over on Williams. Think I could return it real quick? Can't see why not. Here's the address, the cop said, handing Walter a piece of paper. Walter flew toward Williams, found the address, and saw a man about his age sitting on the front porch. The man looked up with a bemused expression when he saw his car descending from the sky, and he smiled at Walter when he set it down in his driveway. Here you go, Mr. Kramer. Why, thank you, Walter. Didn't figure I'd be meeting you today. Well, I just reckon you'd want this back. You figured right. You in a hurry anywhere else? Get you a beer? Walter walked up to the porch. Well, I was heading home, but who am I to turn down a beer? That's what I was hoping you'd say. The man returned a minute later with 2 beers and handed one to Walter. Doesn't affect your flying? Can't get drunk. There are times that would suck. It's not so bad. Hey, this is decent stuff. You don't look like the craft beer type. My grandson is. He brought some over the other day. It's not bad. Some local brewery up in Oakley. Walter took another sip. I kind of like it. Where'd you say he got it? That place near that big church. Crossroads? Oh yeah, might stop by there on the way home. What's it like, the flying and all? It's pretty fun, really. Can't describe it. Felt weird the first time, looking down, wondering what's holding me up. Now it's just kind of natural. This is new? Yeah, just a few days. Saw a bright light, woke up different. No idea what the light was? No idea at all. Who would figure? Guy my age? Not like the comic books. You ever read those things? Nah. Read some when I was a kid, but never got into them that much. Well, that explains you not having a suit or anything. How do you go out in public with people recognizing you? That gets kind of hard. Never been a real social guy. Now I can't go to Kroger without being followed all over the store. I have to scope out the neighborhood before I go in or out of my house. Don't want folk knowing where I live. What part of town you live in? Clifton. Man, how do you deal with all the kids? Don't get me started on that. Can't imagine. How'd you end up there? Long story. Blew through all our money on cancer treatments back in '09. Sold the house, got a cheap apartment. She didn't make it. Just never felt like moving after that. Oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry. Thanks. She's been gone 10 years. I thought I'd get over it one of these days. Guess you never really do. Well, I should let you get home. Thanks for getting the car back. And you know, a lot of folks our age think you're the greatest. A lot better than having some young punk become a hero. Keep it up. Thanks, mister. Call me Jack, okay? Okay, Jack. See you around. Thanks for the beer. The old warehouse was an eyesore. Better than half the windows were gone, and the ones that were still intact were so caked over with grime that nobody could see through them. Anyone venturing through the building would find an unkempt place littered with the residue of nearly 100 years of industrial operation. Broken pallets, rusted out barrels, a broken forklift in one corner, and an office still equipped with a desk and chairs that were state-of-the-art during the Kennedy administration. What the occasional homeless person sheltering in the building never saw was a hidden door in the outdated office. The door was hidden behind an old refrigerator against one wall and opened to a stairway that led down to a basement that was quite a bit cleaner and better furnished than the upstairs. Catherine Mixon, or Cat, to a small group of close associates, had purchased the warehouse 5 years earlier and transformed it into her base of operations. Cat was not the usual crime boss. She had never had any illusions of earning a legitimate living. Ever since her uncle had let her watch films like Scarface and The Godfather, she had become enchanted by the whole organized crime world and had decided then, at the ripe old age of 12, that she wanted nothing else but to head up a successful crime organization someday. That someday had arrived, but not quite as she had envisioned. She started small with drug trafficking and by age 42 had amassed quite a fortune. It wasn't enough. She controlled most of the flow of drugs in the entire tri-state, but she had bigger goals. The mules that brought everything from the border towns in Texas never delivered to the same place twice, something she learned the hard way years earlier when some of them were caught and she almost lost her entire operation. She was involved in more than just drugs at this point, also making a tidy profit in arms dealing, money laundering, and occasionally prostitution. She drew the line at human trafficking, feeling that even in her line of work, one had to have standards. While starting out in Ohio, her operation had expanded to several major cities, and she was always looking to expand. She wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty either, which she was currently in the process of doing. She was in a small storage room just adjacent to what served as her office, holding a small electrode to a man's torso. The man before her, in nothing but his underwear, standing on his toes with his wrist bound by chains above his head, had come to work for her 3 weeks ago, and he had become careless. Just yesterday, she was tipped off that he was an informant working for the cops. They had tried before to no avail. She had eyes and ears everywhere, eyes and ears that were paid quite well to be loyal and to let her know when there was any threat to her operation. Hanley was just another in a long line of threats she had rooted out and dealt with. So far, he was being the tough guy, refusing to talk in spite of the multiple electric shocks she was administering. "Larry," she shouted. "Yes, boss," a man answered from outside the room. Be a doll and fetch me another battery, will you? This one's out of juice." "Okay, boss." "Well, Mr. Hanley, it appears you have a little reprieve. Only so much juice in these things. You care to tell me who you're reporting to?" Hanley was trying to work up enough saliva to spit at his tormentor, but his mouth was dry. "What's wrong, JR? Cat got your tongue? I know you're a cop, or you're working with them. Just tell me what I want to know, and it all ends." "You know what you need to know. I'm not telling you anything else, bitch." "Okay, Larry. Can you just hook that new one up for me?" "Now, where were we?" she asked, after she had the new car battery hooked up. "Oh, yeah. You were being an obstinate pig." She held up the small prod and placed it on his abdomen again, causing him to convulse in pain. She held it there for a few seconds before removing it, crinkling her nose at the acrid smell of burning flesh. "Oh dear, that doesn't smell good. Do I have it turned up too high?" She hit him again for another 10 seconds and removed it when she heard a knock at the door. "What is it?" "It's Frank. Got that data you wanted." "Can't you see I'm busy?" "Oh, hell, come on in. Mr. Hanley's not going anywhere." Frank walked in, looked at Hanley, and quickly looked away. "Is that the informant?" "Yeah. Stubborn fool, doesn't want to say much." "Maybe he doesn't know much." "Maybe, but I so enjoy making sure." "Remind me never to cross you." "That's right, Frank. What do you have on our new friend?" Catherine asked, sticking the probe back onto Hanley's chest and holding it there. "If you look at the time it took him to get to each apartment, including the one in New York, you can see he's damn fast. Then the bomb in that old house in Delhi didn't even faze him. Dude just flew out of there with hardly a hair out of place. It appears that he's extremely fast and can't be killed, at least not easily. How long before he starts becoming a problem for our operation?" "So far, all he's done is stop a few robberies and a high-speed chase on the highway. He hasn't messed with any of the dealers." "How long are you going to hold that on him?" "Oh, pardon me, I should have removed it now and then. That's well and good that he hasn't bothered the dealers, but having someone like that around could hinder future operations." "I'm sure you'll come up with something, you always do." "You say he has a soft spot for helping people in trouble?" "It appears so." "Well, it might not be the best weakness, but it might suffice. While you're at it, Frank, have Larry bring me a couple more batteries. This might be a while. You sure you're gonna need another one? He ain't looking so good. Hanley's head was slumped down on his chest. Mixon felt his neck, but there was no pulse. Not very sporting of him dying on me so soon. We were just beginning to have so much fun. Oh well. Tell Larry to deal with the body. He'll know what to do. Well, I hope you enjoyed Chapter 7. If so, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like information on my other work, you can check out the links in the description below. Take care, and I will see you on the next one.